Hey y'all, your girl is back on live, y'all. It is Wednesday night. Happy Wednesday evening. Hope all is well. So, guys, we are gonna get right into it, y'all. I am super excited for our special guest tonight on an evening edition of Lunch and Learning session for our Icons of Beauty Supply Summit that is happening. Literally this Saturday. It's like in a few days. I can't believe it. So, guys, I dropped the link in the chat. If you guys don't have your tickets yet, you need to go ahead and get it. So, I'm going to bring up our next iconic speaker, Miss Nella, to the stage. Welcome, welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
Hi everybody. How you guys are doing?
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna get right into it because I just love your journey and your story. So first
Thank
off,
you.
just kind of let the people know. Wait, hold on. Where did she go? Child. Did her phone die? Oh no. Where is she? Okay, y'all. We are just going to chat it up until Nelly come back home. But y'all, okay, so if you guys are not aware, we have an amazing summit that is happening March 22nd, and it is called the Icons of Beauty Supply Summit. Okay, she's back. Okay, what in the world? What is happening?
Oh no. Let me tell you. If anything comes to tech, get me far away from it. I don't even know what I just did. My bad. My bad.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you were telling the people who you are
Yes, yes.
and a little bit. So give us who you are and just a little bit of your background before the beauty supply world.
Oh, sure. Yes. So, my name is Nella Reynolds. My background is finance and insurance. So, I started with a strong financial background, honestly. Numbers is everything to me. And it's
Yes.
so, it once you understand that, it definitely helps you when it comes to your business. From there, I am really big into beauty. So, I used to have a PR firm. So, in that PR firm, we did a lot of fashion shows. I was around a lot of high end clientele, let's just say. And, in the insurance world, traveling from state to state, different parts of the country, I was able to kind of like really indulge into like different passions of beauty.
Nice.
And who knows how I got into the beauty supply world because I did not see nobody that looked like me. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a journey. It was a journey. And I was very honest about what I wanted to do. I was very diligent about what I wanted to do. There was a game plan in place, and I just attacked it and just went forward.
Love that. So now bring us to your, I like to say the epiphany moment or the aha moment of when you were like, oh, I'm going to open a beauty supply store.
Ooh.
So, what was that moment for you? That moment for me was when I was like in the store, so mad that I couldn't get any help and seeing a whole bunch of black women in there not getting any help, but yet we were still like spending our money like we had to, like we had no other choice but to spend our money here. And I was like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. That
Right.
that was my moment. So, like, what was your like aha moment?
You know what? I don't know if I ever had an aha moment because I'm a transactional based person. I say I'm going to
Mm,
do and I just do. Like,
mm-hmm,
even when I did get to the store being open, it didn't register to me that I am a store owner and
mm.
and the store is open and here we are. Like, I literally was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do it. Checked it off, did it. Checked it off, did it. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff that's going on. I did not realize that was gonna happen. Got through it.
Mm-hmm.
Checked it off. Do it. Do it. Do it. So I think I would say my aha moment when it was actually established is when I had a lot of people coming in that was excited about the store. And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, oh, okay. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. So that I would say more so that way because I'm such a transactional base. I'm a put it on the list, do, and get it
Now you
done.
can't act like that with motherhood now, child.
No, you can't.
It's like push, Nella, push. The
you
baby's about to come.
you can't. You really girl. You can't act like that in motherhood. Nope, nope. And then when they come along, they be telling you what to do. You be like, that's not how
Right.
this goes. But I would say honestly, once I started seeing the response from the community, it was like, "Oh, girl, you actually did this," you know.
Yes,
And then they were
I loved it.
so helpful. Like, "Oh, have you tried this? Have you thought about this?" Oh no, you know, it was that was my aha moment. I would say for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so now walk us through how you built up the beautiful Alorie Beauty world, and how you were able to create this amazing, recognizable, I would say, name for yourself, because there's people that girl they know who you are.
So I am a person that loves the way things look, obviously.
Hmm.
And so one day I was at work in insurance and I was just writing a bunch of words down on a piece of paper. And I said, "Oh, that looks pretty together." I don't know how you pronounce it because people like, "Well, how you I didn't know at the time. I just start saying something. It sounded good, right? And I did a focus group. Hey, which one of these look good to you? And they was like, "Oh, that
Hmm.
looks good." I'm like, "I like that too." And that's how Alori really was established. It wasn't nothing big and grand. It was just I was just writing letters together and it just looked good, sound good, felt good. And I was like, "Oh, this be really, really pretty." The name initially came about for like a vegan makeup brand. Again, I love beauty, and
Mm.
I wasn't
Okay.
consistent with it. I was not. I created a page, but I was not consistent with it. I didn't go do my formulations like I was supposed to, so
Hmm.
it kind of just set to the side. And then once I made a decision to say I'm going to move forward with the store, I'm like, well, what name am I going to use? You know,
Hmm.
as you know, I don't have the word beauty supply store in my name. That could be good or bad, depending on how you look at it. But as you stated, once you create a name and a experience around the name, people already know what it is. And so from there, I kind of was like, what do I really want? How am I going to make us a little different than most people?
Hmm.
I knew what was missing in the industry. And so I focused on that and I created an experience. That's pretty much what I did.
Right.
And
Yes.
from and being in corporate America, it just made it easier. I knew what people always complain about. If you
Right.
had a customer you had to deal with, what was the complaints? If you had an employee, what was the complaints? I knew those things. I knew what the factor was. So from there, I was like, how can I make that better? A better experience. You go to work, you're tired, you know, you never know what's going on throughout the day. You come to the hair store, you don't need another harassment to you. You want to just woosah. So when you
Yep.
come in, it's kind of like, okay, you got the vibe. So you got the music, you got the energy, you got smell good, smell fresh, smell clean. For Black women, that means a lot for us. And if you
Absolutely.
understand us in that capacity, you can really tailor to that. And that's really what I did.
Love that. So, I really love your journey because there was a lot of hiccups in the building and that whole thing that a lot of people don't realize until they're in it. So
Yes.
our whole goal is to like share obviously the positives, but then some of the hiccups
Oh,
so
yeah.
that other people don't deal with that. So like what would you say? Well, you can talk about that one thing, that was a huge headache. And then it was like COVID. It was a lot of stuff going on when you
Absolutely.
open.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But then so talk about some of like your major like learning lessons in the actual building out of the store.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, right? Be your boss, right? You are paying the individual to do what you need them to do. You are the one telling them what they need to do, what time frame they need to have it done. Don't get so caught up in the emotion aspect, because this is what I did. Okay, so I had to build out. We knew exactly how long the time frame was going to be. Keep in mind, I'm in insurance. I've dealt with contractors my entire life, so I understand what that's supposed to do, how it's supposed to go.
Right.
It should never been different because it was for me. The way I advocated for other people, I should have advocated for myself as well, which I did not do properly. Okay. Um, when you are setting up a guideline of when payment's supposed to be paid, when the
Hmm.
project's supposed to be done, you have to make sure you stand fast or you stand two toes down on that. If it's not done, then we got a problem, we got an issue, and we need to address those concerns immediately. The thing that I did was I did not have my big girl panties on. Sorry, I did not. I
That's real.
allowed the emotions to get the best of me. Like, oh my gosh, it's supposed to look this way, only this person can do it, and those are not true. Those
Mm-hmm.
the false thing from the truth you could think of. Um, but in my mind, I'm just like, I was so dead set on this person can deliver what I was looking for. And once I was able to, it took me a long time. It took me a long time. It took me time, cost me time, and it cost me
Mm-hmm.
money, right?
Yes.
Because it was money that I did not anticipate to spend.
To spend. Yep.
I'm paying for a store that is not open. Should have been open months ago. We went in almost a little over a year to get the store open, and the ownership took 5 weeks. So,
Lord.
I would say this: be your accountability person, right? Be advocate for yourself. And once I was like, listen, you're done. I found
Mm-hmm.
somebody to come in. They finish everything in the same day. So
Yeah.
it lets you know, even though they give you this imagery of what you're looking for, somebody else can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody else can do the same. You just gotta find them. And I didn't do a great job in that. And you know, so whenever someone asks me about, listen, you got to make sure, you know, you gotta definitely make sure that you're on top of that, because that can be. I lost what, 60 grand or so in that whole
Mm.
process.
Yeah.
You know what 60 grand can do?
To open a whole nother little store. Child.
Okay. Listen, I was like, I sat down and calculated. I was like, this is crazy. The
Yes.
store's not open. I still gotta pay for it every single month. There's no money coming in. So, you know, you gotta think about those things.
Yeah.
And when you're new and you're fresh and you're so excited, some things you just completely just be oblivious about. But in this summit, you're not gonna be oblivious about anything. You're gonna have everything that you need to know.
Yes,
Um,
tell them.
yeah, because like had I paid attention to that, I would not one lost all that time, would not lost all that money. You know, I would be a little bit more. Uh, I would stand up for myself a little bit more in that regards, because I was like, what was I thinking? Because if it was Sally that I was advocating for, Sally would got
Yes.
everything that she needed. But now I need to
Yes.
advocate for Nella. How come I didn't do
Yeah.
that? So
That's
trust me.
so that's so that's such a profound concept that I feel like I think maybe as women, like we're used to advocating, especially Black women, we're used to really advocating for other people. And
Hmm.
then when it comes to ourselves, it's like we need to like learn how to advocate for ourselves more. I like literally learn that every single day. And for the people who's watching and you're coming from the 9 to 5 world, like in business, it's such a different animal. And you have to, as a woman in business, as a Black woman in business, advocating for yourself in all different arenas is going to be paramount for your success.
Hmm.
And one thing that I always talk about is just even the concept of not only just advocating for yourself, but like firing fast and hiring slow. I still struggle to that to this day. I still struggle with firing fast to this day.
You
Talk about
know,
that.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have an issue when it came to hiring and firing people. Um, thank God.
Thank
I
God.
could thank God. I was blessed. So who when I brought whoever on, they've been with me.
That's
From
a blessing.
they have been with me. So I was blessed in that department. I would say that I was very adamant of what I wanted, but I do come from leadership from the corporate
Hmm.
American world. I knew what I was looking for, what I needed. I didn't just bring any and everybody on just because, oh my gosh, it's a hair store. No,
Hmm.
because it is a business at the end of the day. You know, there's, you know, KPIs that needs to be met, you know, at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And you got to also make sure that they understand what the vision is. They got to make sure where you're going with your I had the girl to ask me, she's like, so do you think this is, you know, you think this is going to you know, be here? I was like, what? I'm like, 2 years
Wait,
later,
what, girl?
you still think so? You know? I
That
was
is
like,
funny.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
But you know, it was a valid question. I appreciate the honesty, you know, the concerns. And I'm like, absolutely. So that lets me know that you understand what my vision is. You understand where I'm trying to
Hmm.
go to. You
Absolutely.
understand how you can be a part of that process and how you can help us grow. So for me personally, I would say I lucked out in that department. However, I know there's other store friends, owners that I have that was not so lucky. But also, you got to look at, what you're paying these individuals, what is your expectation of these
Mhm.
individuals, and then how are you really handling them? I always have a us attitude. Hey, what do you think we should do? I'm gonna listen to you to see, does that make sense for Lori? Does that make sense for us to move in this direction? What is your input on this? What is your viewpoint? What are
Mhm.
people saying? I really took that seriously. I asked them questions, and we had dinners together. We had our year anniversaries together. Like one year I rented out a penthouse, and we had on our
Ooh,
pink
okay.
PJ. Yes, we had game night. We had our 1 year like overview for the year. I was like, hey, let me know what if there's something I did, that you didn't like or you didn't feel like I handled properly. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. I had a really open door policy. And I mean, one girl said something, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry that it was presented or it came out that way, but it was
Mhm.
clearly not the case. We discussed it, we talked about it, but we went on. We had game nights that night. The next morning we had brunch. I had dinner. Cake. I mean, like when I tell you, it was really a dynamics of how I treated them. I treated them like they were part of the business itself.
Absolutely.
So if anybody came in, they knew what, who, how, everything. Everything was set in stone. So I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have that issue. But I really appreciate who I brought on. I felt value in them, and they felt value in me. So
I
it was
love
a
that.
win-win for the both of us.
Yes, I always say when people come on, or even like really in the interview process, like especially in the retail business where turnover is so high,
It is.
you really need to be able to sell culture, and not just like you're just someone who is just going to be ringing people up at a register. Like people need to
Exactly.
actually buy in the fact that number one, you're a black owned business, so don't think you're gonna play games with me.
Nope.
And we in beauty supply, which is like even unheard of, period. So
Exactly.
we need people
Exactly.
that are all the way dialed in, that know what the mission is, that know what the
Exactly.
vision is, that is going to be dialed in for like the long game, okay? Because sis,
Absolutely.
sis
Absolutely.
asked you, you think it'll be this is we doing a long game here, sis.
It's it. And what's crazy? Like I barely was in the store. I'll go in the store every now and again just to go in there. I ring up customers. And they were like, where's the what's the other little girl? Excuse me, ma'am. She's not here today. She'll be here tomorrow. You don't want me to help you?
You know what, me? What?
Oh my
Usually
gosh,
they be like, "Where's the owner?"
Yes.
He's not
Oh my
here.
gosh. And
Oh
what's
my gosh.
funny too? I'm one of those people that I don't know why, but anytime anybody asks, like, are you the owner? I just be like, if they ask me directly, I say yes. They says it's back on, I say yes. And then I don't really elaborate. But the girls like, oh, you're talking to the owner right here. This is the
Right.
owner right here. I feel like
They be so proud.
they do,
They be
they
so
do. That's
proud.
what I'm saying. When you got the right crew, it makes a
Yes.
difference. It truly,
Oh,
truly makes a difference.
1000%. Any
Yeah,
business that you run, the crew is just going to be the backbone.
absolutely.
Literally, the
Absolutely.
employees are the backbone of the business. You
Absolutely.
think it's the
Absolutely.
inventory, you think is the system that you have, it's the employees, because
It really
you
is.
can have a regular cash register, lack of inventory, but when people come in there and they feel like everyone feel like they own the business and they just operate in that like aura of like this is our family business, it
Yes.
just does make a world of a
It
difference. So
it does. It does. And it
hiring and understanding that you need to hire people who are going to be dialed in, tapped in, same
absolutely.
vision, locked into long-term growth is a
Absolutely.
blessing.
It's truly a blessing. I couldn't even say it even better than that. And it keeps you accountable too. It really does. So I'm happy I didn't have to have such a negative experience come to that. But I would say with the years of corporate America, with the years of being in leadership, it definitely allowed me to really look at things at a bigger picture than at a surface level.
Yes, love that. So talk to the people who are watching, who are struggling with the concept of working in a 9 to 5, whether that be corporate, medical field, whatever, and operating the store. So you're still in your corporate position, correct?
No, but I could talk about it though.
Yes. Okay. So I know once upon a time you were still like doing both. And so people are like, I don't know if I could do both, blah, blah, blah. So
Um,
talk to like how you was able to navigate that and then talk about your exit.
Sure, absolutely. So it all depends on if you're doing remote work. I mean, you can do both. Like
Mm-hmm.
let's not call a spade a
Okay, yeah.
spade, okay? So a lot of people right now are doing remote work. So you're
Right.
definitely able to, if you know how to, if you know, I feel like this. Once you know how to ace your current job, your 9 to 5 job, you know how to really come in there, show up, and do your 9 to 5 job. Then you got the fundamentals basis already down pat. Okay. Secondly, you have to figure out, okay, so if I'm working these hours, when can I fit into really create the environment that I want for the store? Because you got to do that. You can't open up a store and just throw people in there and they don't have no direction. They don't know what you want, what you need. You come in there, you're losing your mind because this not here, this is not done, and etc. Because you don't have the fundamentals down pat. For
Right.
me personally, I have always been more in consulting work. So I had the ability to be at the store or take a phone call, look at an email, and it wasn't so impactful. But I know other people who have had to go into an office, leave that office, and then also go into their store. But in order for you to be able to do that, because when you put in you can't do it, then you're right. You can't do it, right? Because you already made yourself believe that you can't do it. But when you
Very
sit
true.
down and look at how I can do it, because that's you need to change the way you're looking at this. Like, what can I do to really achieve the goal that I want? If not, you're gonna be in the same spot that you've been in, and that's not what you want, right? So what you would need to do is figure out what is the game plan. So for me personally, what I would look at, okay, I work from this time to this time. My store is open from this time to this time. I gotta have somebody in the store operating from this time to this time. You gonna need to have somebody in the store operating from this time
Uh-oh.
to this time. Can you hear me?
Your screen, I don't know, it's black. It's black. We can hear you, but we can't see you anymore. It's like pitch black.
Oh my goodness. I tell you.
Did you get a phone call or something?
I did. I didn't realize I was gonna be getting a phone call. I think
Okay, there we go. We can,
okay.
yeah,
Oh
you're
my
good now.
God. All right. So you have to have first of all, you got to be a strategist when it comes to this, especially if you're trying to occupy your time
For
in two
sure.
different locations, right? So for example, if you know that you're working from 8 to 5 and you know your store is open from, let's say 10, 8, whatever time that you decide to open up your store up to a certain time frame, then when you get off of work, you need to go to that store. That's
Yep.
just how, you just got to go there, right? Because your present has to be made, and then also the things that you want done, it needs to be done. It needs to be documented, and you need to make sure that they're being done. On the weekends, you may be off, then you're there most of the time of the day. You have to make sure you bring in the right people though to make sure that they're doing what's necessary. You don't want nobody sitting on the clock all day and not making a sale. That's not how it goes. If they're not making a sale, they
Absolutely.
can't get paid. They can't get paid. You can't get paid. You can't get paid. You can't pay your rent, and it's a rolling effect. You have to sit down.
Absolutely.
You have to you have to strategize how it's going to be affected. If you have a friend that could do it for you, great. You got a family member that could do it for you that you trust, great. If you got to hire somebody and
Hmm.
and you believe that they're going to do what they need to be doing, great. However, they need to know what to do because you're not physically there doesn't mean the store cannot operate.
Absolutely. Love that. Um, that was actually a gem because a lot of people really don't realize that it does take a level of strategy to be in two places, but it is possible. There are people that do it every single day. And okay, so now talk about your exit. What did that look like?
Well, see, money drives me. So I'm gonna always be a consultant. Somebody call me for me to do something, I'm gonna do that. But I don't do it full time. And my exit really was just like I'm focusing on other things. Like,
Mhm.
what's the next step for Lori? Like our like right now, we're moving,
Moving
and
locations?
yes.
Oh my God,
So
why am I finding this out on the internet?
girl, Listen, the tea
You
is
see these
piping
mentees of
hot.
mine.
The tea is piping hot. So what is so amazing about this process though? Because guys, I've done this already.
Hmm.
So I know how to talk to the leasing agents. The documents that they're looking for, they want, I have them. I
Hmm.
can really negotiate better terms if I need to. Let me tell you, I have already went and looked at a place. I'm like, okay, this can work. Now I know what the clientele is. I know what
Hmm.
products I can really bring in to attract different clientele. Like you're so much smarter. You move a little bit
Absolutely.
more efficiently. You know,
Absolutely.
talking about. So when I'm talking to them, I'm like, I need to know this information first. Okay, great, cool. What type of lease? What is this about?
Hmm. Yep.
Are you sure this is what we can work with? Is there any? How about this? What about that? Your talk game is so much stronger,
Absolutely.
so much more efficient, effective, and they talk to you differently.
For
Hey, Miss
sure.
Reynolds, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So,
Yes,
so this is amazing because we'll be able to talk about this at our summit.
yes.
So we're gonna wrap it up. Last word for people who are on the fence of getting their ticket to the Icons of Beauty Supply Summit. What would you tell them to get on the fence?
So I will say this, what will be the hesitation? Honestly, what is the hesitation? You see someone that look like yourself, that something that you aspire to do. You don't know what you're doing, and you can learn from so many different other store owners. Everyone has a different journey. You may gravitate to someone that you are like, wow, I really like their journey. I really like their storyline. You can start following them and see other journeys that they're into as well. For me, because I actually did a boot camp, honestly. And when I came in, I was in my process. But let me tell you, when you're around people that know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
you don't lose as much money. Okay.
Right. Hello,
Because you
somebody.
don't Okay. You don't lose as much money. You don't lose a lot of time because it's already shortcut for you. It's say, hey, do this. You over here trying to do A, B, C, D to get to B when we could tell you go from A to B in a quicker stance. I will also say that it's so much success that's gonna be in that room that's gonna give you
Absolutely.
so much energy. It's probably giving you so much inspiration. Because like in the times that we're in right now, we need each other more than you could think we need each other. Okay,
Mm,
the things that's happening behind the scenes that you are not familiarized with, you get to be able to be aware. You have more knowledge, and you could stand two toes down in the sand, like, okay, now I understand why. And now you can
yeah.
educate people on that as well. I'll say this too. It feels great to be around a collective of Black women, even Black men,
Period.
because there's Black men that's in this industry too that's doing really good as well, right? But it feels so good to be around other Black women who's doing this or anything else that's like this, or just doing greatness
Just
overall.
doing
Why?
great
Because
things.
because you're around people that want to see you be successful as well. Like, I don't know no successful women that's hate on each other. Let's just keep it real.
Period.
You know, so for that, I say get your tickets, come in the room, enjoy the information that you're gonna get because you're not gonna get it like this. I can promise you that.
Period. Period. So y'all, I'm dropping the link for the tickets, guys. Nella is going to be in the building. She is going to be pulling back the curtain. And we just gonna get the tea on this move too. So y'all just need to be in the building to get this tea, child, because
Because it's hot
it's
and it's
hot.
piping.
It's hot and it's piping.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is gonna be a time, y'all. I am bringing my favorites to the stage, and like Nella said, everyone's journey is different, and you can just find a piece of you in everybody that is going to be there. And everything she says is true. All the people that's going to be on the stage are dynamic, brilliant people that are just making impact and change in this industry. And I am just, first of all, incredibly thankful and grateful that you say yes to the call, Nella. I am so grateful and thankful
Oh,
that
always.
you will be in the building. And so, y'all, get y'all tickets. We are going to wrap it up here, but I will see you guys March 22nd at the Icons of Beauty Supply Summit. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.